तो मैं आपके लिए इम्पोर्टेंट MCQs लाया हूँ जो कि थीम्स इन हिस्ट्री सेकंड के लिए है। दोस्तों इससे पहले मैंने कुछ प्रीवियस पेपर्स डिस्कस ऑलरेडी किए हैं और कुछ सब्जेक्ट्स के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट MCQs ऑलरेडी डिस्कस किए हैं। दोस्तों वो आप प्लेलिस्ट में जाकर चेक कर सकते हैं। दोस्तों आइए अब हम आज का वीडियो शुरू करते हैं। हु इज़ नोन एज द फादर ऑफ रिनेसेंस? आंसर है फ्रांसिस्को पेट्रार्च। In which country Renaissance began first? Answer है Italy. During Renaissance, University of Padua was famous for what? For legal studies. The King of France at the time of 1789 revolution was? Answer है Louis XIV. What was the name of the book written by Jacob Burckhardt? Answer है the civilization of the Renaissance in Italy. Who among the following was a famous German historian? Answer है Leopold von Ranks. By whom was press invented? Johannes Gutenberg. When was Constantinople was occupied by the Turks? 1453 CE. Name the book written by Dante Alighieri. Answer है The Divine Comedy. In which language Giovanni Boccaccio book Decameron was written? Italian. In which year Oration on the Dignity of Man was published? 1486. Who was the author of The Prince? Niccolo Machiavelli III. By which name Plato was known in Arabic? Aflatun. Who sketched Praying Hands? Albrecht Dürer. By whom the famous paintings of Mona Lisa was made? Leonardo da Vinci. Where was Royal Society established? London. When was Paris Academy established? 1666. By whom the book entitled Cosmographical Mystery written? Answer है Johannes Kepler. Who invented the theory of gravitation? Isaac Newton. Who discovered blood circulation? William Harvey. Who among the following ruled in Mantua? Isabella the St. Martin Luther belonged to which country? Germany. In Switzerland, Luther's ideas were popularized by whom? Ulrich Zwingli. Who was the founder of Society of Jesus? Ignatius Loyola. When was Industrial Revolution started? 18th century. From which country Industrial Revolution started first? England. Which of the following scholars first coined the term Industrial Revolution? Arnold Toynbee. Who was the King of England at the time of Industrial Revolution? George III. When was Bank of England formed? यहाँ पर 3 ऑप्शन हैं, चौथा ऑप्शन यहाँ पर है और यही इसका सही आंसर है 1694. When was the first railway line built in England? 1814. The first railway line connected which 2 cities of England? Stockton and Darlington. What was the average lifespan of workers of Manchester during the Industrial Revolution, इसका आंसर है 17 years. When did Peterloo Massacre take place? 1819 CE. When were Combination Acts repealed by the British government? 1824. In which year the first Mine Act was passed in England? 1867. Which country is considered to be the birthplace of the Renaissance? Italy. Which person most embodied the ideas of Renaissance? Martin Luther. The rallying cry of the Renaissance was ad fontes. This means to the source. Culturally, what did the Renaissance recognize in the classical texts they found? Answer had different cultural assumptions that allowed them to forge a different view of humanity. What was happening politically in the Renaissance period? Answer hai kingdoms became consolidated. The Renaissance was spurred on the most by which of the following technical innovation? Answer hai the printing press. Renaissance humanism represented? Answer hai those who wanted to separate church and state. What was the relationship between Renaissance thinkers, artists, and poets to the classical world? Answer hai they embraced it. In 1789, the National Assembly declared war on monarchy. Which of the following was not an action taken by National Assembly? Answer hai granting women the right to join the conscript army. Name the Mughal emperor who issued fireman permitting East India Company to trade with India. Answer hai Jahangir. The first English factory was established in India at Surat. The East India Company was granted the privilege of trading duty free in Bengal in 1717. The Carnatic War were fought between the answer British and the French. Who planted the tree of liberty in Sri Rangpatam? Answer hai Tipu Sultan. What was the main result of the Battle of Plassey? British supremacy. Who is regarded as the founder of Calcutta? Job Charnock. The term Dastak implies free pass or duty-free trade. The French challenge to British supremacy came to an end with the Battle of Plassey. Who of the following was responsible for laying the telegraphic line in India for the first time? Lord Ripon. When was the famous black hole tragedy took place? 1773. Dadabai Nehruji did for the first time explain the train of Indian wealth to England. Is his article on the Communists of India. The permanent settlement of 1793 vested the ownership of land in village communities. The Rayotwari settlement was for the first time implemented in Madras and Bombay, who propounded the theory of drain of wealth. Dadabai Nehruji, the free trade policy of Britain profited British industry. When was the first railway line opened in India? 1853. In the permanent settlement, the share of zamindars was 1 by 11. The important result of British economic policy in India was poverty and hunger. The father of Muslim Renaissance in Bengal was Amir Ali. Which of the following social religious movement raised the slogan India for Indians? Arya Samaj. Asiatic Society of Bengal was established by Sir William Jones, who founded Satya Shodak Samaj. Jyotiba Phule inspired the young Bengal movement in the 19th century. Answer A. Henry Vivian Darozia, who led the Khasi revolt against the British. Utirot Singh. Modernization of Muslim in India was started by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, who is known as Mother of Indian Revolution. Bikhaji Rustam, who is the author of the famous poetry सारा जहां से अच्छा. आंसर है इसका इकबाल, मोहम्मद इकबाल. यहाँ पर देखिए, the writer of Indian War of Independence 1857 is V.D. Savarkar. 29 March 1857 is the date of Barrackpore revolt. Sir Hugh Rose comment, the best and bravest of the military leader of the rebels was said about Rani of Jhansi, who did not participate in the revolt of 1857, Bhagat Singh. The main reason for the failure of the revolt of 1857 was lack of leadership. The Kuku movement to overthrow the British rule was organized in Punjab. Who was the last Mughal emperor? Bahadur Shah Zafar. Dadabai Nehruji did for the first time explain the drain of India wealth to England in his article on the Communists of India. Who was the president of Indian National Congress at the time of independence? J.B. Kripalani. Who was the founder of Khudai Khidmatgar organization? Answer है Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. Hakim Ajmal Khan became the president of which session of Indian National Congress? Answer है Ahmedabad 1921. Who organized Indian National Army? Subhash Chandra Bose. Jallianwala Bagh is situated in which state? Punjab. Who founded Indian National Congress in 1885? A.O. Hume. Where was the third session of Indian National Congress held? Madras. Which of the following Muslim leaders termed partition of India as the treacherous act? Answer है इसका लियाकत Ali Khan. Who is known as the main architect of Indian Constitution? Bhimrao Ambedkar. When did India become republic? 26 January 1950. When was the Government of India Act passed? 1935. The only member of the Constituent Assembly who could not speak English was Hasrat Mohani. The president of the International Congress was Badruddin Tayyibji. The demand for Pakistan was made by Muslim League for the first time in 1940. The Muslim League was founded by Nawab Salimullah Khan. Which type of party system exists in India? Multi-party system. Ayaram Gayaram is related with the issue of defection when CPIM was formed 1964, when Bharatiya Jansangh was formed 51, who was the founder president of Jansangh, Shri Shyam Prasad Mukherjee. Which party was known as umbrella organization? Congress. The Congress dominated the Indian political scenario from 1947 to 67. Bodhan movement was started in India by Vinoba Bhave. The important result of British economic policy in India was poverty and hunger. The main disadvantage of Macaulay minutes were all above, any no mass education, setback to Oriental learning, closing pathshalas and madrasa system. Macaulay's name was Thomas Babington, whose statement is this: a single shelf of a good European library was worth the whole native literature of India and Arabia. Macaulay, leader of the Oriental Party, was Princip. Lord Macaulay has no idea about beauty of Sanskrit language. Macaulay opposed the education of आंसर है इसका A and B यानी Sanskrit and Arabic language, Indian religions. According to Woods dispatch, the medium of instruction should be English. इसका आंसर है Woods dispatch contains आंसर है 100 paragraphs. Woods dispatch recommended आंसर है all of the above: more education, religion education, indigenous schools. Woods dispatch had reviewed the teachings of answer है both A and B यानी Sanskrit Arabic. Great admirer of Woods dispatch was Lord Dalhousie. For how many days Shimla conference was accorded? 15. Lord Curzon's recommendations were all above यानी vocational education, women education, mass education. The name of Rajaram Mohan Roy's social and religious movement was Brahmo Samaj. The chief aim of expansion of Western education was to prepare faithful group of Indians. Which of the following contributed to the rise of national awakening? Answer है A and B in press and newspaper and literature. Name the leaders of social religious movement of 19th century. यहाँ पर दोस्तों देखिए ऑप्शन 3 जो हैं राजा राम मोहन राय, स्वामी दयानंद सरस्वती, स्वामी विवेकानंद, यही 3 इसका ऑप्शन है. यहाँ पर देखिए ऑल ऑफ द अबो और सही आंसर ऑल ऑफ द अबो यानी ये तीनों. Who stressed on female education and their rights? आंसर है स्वामी दयानंद सरस्वती. Which of the following is called the representative of the modern age? इसका सही आंसर है राजा राम मोहन रॉय. उसके बाद राजा राम मोहन रॉय was born in 1774 AD in Brahmo family. इसके बाद social evils like sati system, infanticide, child marriage and पर्दा were condemned by. इसका आंसर है राजा राम मोहन रॉय. Which of the following newspaper were started by राजा राम मोहन रॉय? इसका आंसर है A and B, यानी संवद, कौमुदी और मिरतुल अखबार. Who was the founder of Arya Samaj? Swami Dayanand Saraswati. What was the early name of Swami Dayanand Saraswati? Mool Shankar. Which of the following was the famous works of Swami Dayanand Saraswati? All of above, यानी सत्यार्थ प्रकाश, वेद भाष्य, भूमिका, वेद भाष्य. Which was the most significant social reform of Swami Dayanand? इसका आंसर है purification यानी शुद्धि. Swami Dayananda Saraswati injected in Hindu society. आंसर है all of the above, यानी new power, vigor, spirit. Who named the mission of Paramahansa as Ramakrishna mission? आंसर है स्वामी विवेकानंद. Who made religion dynamic and powerful to face Islam and Christianity? यहाँ पर एक ऑप्शन देखिए स्वामी दयानंद और बी है स्वामी विवेकानंद और बाकी दो ऑप्शन है. आंसर है इसका स्वामी विवेकानंद. Which spirit Swami Vivekanand boosted in the Indians? इसका आंसर है all of above, यानी nationalism rose them from slumber, infused confidence. Which of the following movement was directed by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan? Aligarh movement. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was born in Delhi in आंसर है 1817. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was great supporter of आंसर है Western education. Chief aim of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was all of the above, यानी to improve relations between the English and the Muslims, to educate Muslims, to modernize Muslims. उसके बाद Anglo-Oriental College of Aligarh was established by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan in 1877. तुम देखते हैं the leader of the revolt of 1857 in Bihar was Kunwar Singh. Badruddin Tayyibji presided over the Congress session held at Madras. Who of the following had headed the group of lawyers to fight the case of soldiers Indian National Army in 1946 in the famous Red Fort trial? आंसर है Balabag Desai. Who was the president of Indian National Congress at the time of independence? आंसर है इसका G.B. Kripalani. Who was the founder of Khudai-e-Khidmat God organization? Khan Abdul Ghaffar. Hakim Ajmal Khan became the president of which session of Indian National Congress? Ahmedabad 1921. Who organized Indian National Army? Subhash Chandra Bose. Jallianwala Bagh is situated in which state? Punjab. Where was the third session of Indian National Congress? Madras. Who had given the title of Mahatma to Gandhiji? आंसर है इसका Rabindranath Tagore. The first president of Muslim League was Salimullah Khan. All brothers are related to which of the following Khilafat movement? Who is known as the main architect of Indian Constitution? Bhimrao Ambedkar. When did India became a republic 26th January 1950 when the first governor of Bengal appointed by East India Company was Warren Hastings. The Quiet India movement was adopted by the Indian National Congress Act Bombay. The two national theory for the first time was propounded by Ali Muhammad Jinnah. The plan of independence of India was announced on June 3rd, 1947. Gandhiji started the Dandi March in 1930 against the imposition of the salt tax laws. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was born on 14th November 1889. Where Gandhi formed the Satyagraha Sabha, Bombay. The government of English East India Company came to an end in 1858 AD. The Indian National Congress met first at Bombay. Of the following who was not the leader of the extremist? आंसर है A.O. Hume. उसके बाद Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated on January 30, 1948. India and Pakistan were partitioned under which of the following plans of the British colonial government? Answer है Mountbatten Plan. Gandhi's famous Quit India movement call to the British was given in 1942. Who initiated move to form the Indian National Congress? A.O. Hume. Gandhiji's Dandi March started from Ahmedabad. The Indian National Congress adopted the resolution of complete independence in its session held at Lahore. The first civil disobedience movement was started by Gandhi after Rowlatt Act of 1919. The first Muslim president of the International Congress was Badruddin Tayyibji. The demand for Pakistan was made by Muslim League for the first time in 1940. The Balabag Massacre occurred on April 1919. The early brothers were associated with Khilafat movement. Swaraj is my birthright, and I shall have it was proclaimed by, इसका आंसर है बाल गंगाधर तिलक. Gokhale found servants of Indian society. Separate state for Muslims was demanded by Ali Muhammad Jinnah. The Prime Minister at the time of interim government was Nehru. Mahatma Gandhi started Desh movement after the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Non-cooperation movement. Desh Commission was sent to inquire the Government of India Act 1919. Simon 9th March 1930 is associated with Dandi March. Two nations theory on 22nd March 1940 was proposed mainly by Jinnah. How long did Nehruji remain the president of Indian National Congress? इसका आंसर है 3 years. दोस्तों इसमें और भी क्वेश्चन हैं, लेकिन वो मैं आपको पार्ट 2 में आपके साथ मिलाऊंगा इंशाल्लाह वो कल. दोस्तों आपसे गुजारिश है कि वीडियो को लाइक करो, शेयर करो और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो ताकि इसका दूसरा पार्ट आपसे मिस ना हो. और अगर कुछ कहना हो या इस वीडियो के बारे में या किसी और सब्जेक्ट के बारे में आपको MCQ चाहे तो कमेंट सेक्शन में मुझे ज़रूर बताना. दोस्तों आज की इस वीडियो में इतना ही. मिलते हैं अगले वीडियो में कुछ नए जानकारी के साथ. थैंक यू.